Hey, Career Babes. I want to thank you all for joining my YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe this page. Right here, I wanted to show you all what I do when I am cutting out some characters for a current event. And I am going to adhesive on a foam board, but I want to show you all the first process. So what I do is I like to try and cut out as much white around my photos, around my images as possible, and then I go to adhesive on. So this video here, I'm just going to show you how I cut it off. And then this event here, we are doing SpongeBob. So our baby is turning 1 year old. So I created a baby. He's turning 1 year old. And the mom requested SpongeBob for their event. So as you know, SpongeBob is a very detailed theme. So you want to implement as much of the characters as possible. So that is what we're doing here. So as part of my prepping, I am cutting out plankton, as you see here. My characters that I chose to focus on is plankton. So, and as well as SpongeBob, Squidward, and Mr. Krabs. So here, these are my table, a part of my table centerpieces that I am doing here. So right now I'm showing you that the cutout that I have. Now I do have a little white on here, so because when I adhesive on, I want to be able to have a little room, and have where the edges, I am able to make a smooth adhesive on my boards. And that's just me. I just like to leave a little bit of white, and then once I adhesive onto the board and it dries, then I go through with my cutting knife or my electric utensil so that I can be able to get as close as possible. And then also as well, I do not cut off all the white, because sometimes I will make a outline with the white border, sometimes depending on the character, depending on if I think that the white might look a little bit better than just cutting off all the white, because sometimes you need that white to contrast and to stick out more when you're doing your centerpieces. So here I am cutting out Squidward. I am going as fast as possible because I am on a deadline. I am on a schedule. I have other engagements and prior engagements for tonight for my son. And so here I am cutting as quick and fast as possible. So right now I am cutting out the feet, and I am just cutting out all of my images so that I can set it to the side, so that when the next day comes, the second part of my prepping will be adhesing them onto the board. And then we just going from there. So right now, I am about 80% of my centerpieces. All of my creativeness usually comes to me in many different forms. So right now, I'm just making sure I just get this first step out the way. So when you're doing characters and you're doing events that are very detailed, it is best to prep ahead of time, and you want to prep as much as possible. With this event here, we are doing it at our location, but especially if you're a mobile decorator or mobile event planner, you want to make sure you prep as much as possible. That's including your balloon, that including your centerpieces, is so that you can be able to go in and just place them down, because usually majority of the time when you're mobile, those other venues have you on a scheduled timing, and you don't have time to be putting stuff together, girl. You got to have this stuff together. So here is my final. I did Mr. Crab, and here you go.